and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kathleen, and today's video we will be discussing Heartless by Marissa Meyer. So this is the first Marissa Meyer book that I've ever read. She is the author of the Lunar Chronicles, which I have the books but I haven't read yet. I will be reading them soon because everyone keeps telling me to read it because it's so fantastic. And if it's anything like Heartless, then I'm sure that I'm going to love it. Heartless was just such a wild ride and it was so amazing. This was actually the BIBLIO Squad's November book pick of the month for last year, I believe, and we had a live show for it where we discussed all our feelings for this book. I will leave a link down below if you would like to check out that live show, but I absolutely love this book. I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. If you're unfamiliar with Heartless, Heartless is basically a retelling origin story for the Queen of Hearts from Alice in Wonderland, and the Queen of Hearts is the antagonist for Alice in Wonderland. She's the one that kind of like goes off with their heads all the time. She kills anybody and everybody in Alice in Wonderland, and so this is the origin story, basically telling her journey of how she became the Queen of Hearts. So this is going to be a spoiler-free review. I would not want to spoil anything about this incredible books for you guys because I definitely think you should read it for yourselves. So Heartless follows Catherine, and she is the daughter, the only daughter of this well-to-do family, and she has dreams to become a baker. She is actually right now the best baker in the kingdom. She makes the best tarts, cookies, pies, sweets in the whole kingdom. No one else can beat her, and the King of Hearts actually really loves her cookies, her sweets. So she has this dream, even though her parents don't know about this dream. She has this dream of opening up a bakery with one of her maids who happens to be her best friend. It is going to be difficult to get this dream of hers because her parents have bigger aspirations for her. They actually want her to become the next Queen of Hearts, and it turns out that the king is actually in love with her. He's infatuated with her, but he is planning on, courting her. Catherine doesn't want that. She does not want anything to do with running a kingdom. All she wants to do is open up her bakery and bake because that's her passion now. So on the night of the masquerade ball, where actually the king is going to ask her to marry him, she meets Jest, who is actually the kingdom's jester, and he and her have this instant connection between them. Throughout this book, she and Jest get really close, and they have this almost like this forbidden love affair because to everyone else she's actually courting the king, but then behind everyone's back she's actually in love with Jest, and Jest is in love with her. This book was slow in the beginning, and that's one of the reasons why I docked half a star. The insta love was the second reason, but after you get through the first 100 pages, this book just grasps you. Jest is an amazing love interest. I really liked him. He's just so sweet, and he's just a guy who genuinely cares about Catherine, and all he wants out of life is to be with her. But basically the plot was just beautifully developed. I feel like Marissa Meyer did a very well job of introducing us to Catherine, letting us get to know her, and then also writing the events that led up to who she is today, who we know her to be today. She just wrote it so beautifully and effortlessly, and it was also heartbreaking because you know what's going to happen in the end. You know who Catherine's going to become. In this book, you kind of really connect with Catherine. Catherine is someone who starts off as very sweet. She doesn't want anything out of life but become a baker, but her parents have bigger aspirations for her because she is from a well-to-do family. She's their only daughter, and the king is obviously interested in her, so they want that for her. They want a better life. There was one scene where she gets in a fight with her parents about that because what she wants is very different from what they want from her, and it's just so heartbreaking because I know what it's like. I know what it's like to have your parents' expectations on you, but you want something different from life, and I was so frustrated with her. I felt myself in Catherine's shoes. At the end, there was one line where her parents, they saw how sad she was with her circumstances, and they were like, we just wanted you to be happy. We just wanted the best from you. And she said to them how different everything could have been if you had thought to ask me that before. And that scene was just so heartbreaking. By the end of this book, I was so shattered that I had no words, because Marissa Meyer wrote Catherine in a way where I was able to put myself in her shoes, and I felt her every frustration, and I felt her heartbreak, and I felt her joy when she baked goodies, and when she was with Jess. I felt all of her emotions, and I just love Catherine. And throughout this book, I was just so hoping that for some reason Marissa Meyer was going to turn this around and Catherine would have a happy ending, but that's obviously not. This is an origin story. We know what the end is going to be, and there was nothing that was going to change that. It was just... Let's talk about Hatter. So Hatter, he is another integral point in this book. Basically, Hatter, he is not crazy yet. He's not the Mad Hatter yet, but I feel like this was also an origin story for him, because the events that led to Catherine becoming the Queen of Hearts is also kind of like what led Hatter to become the Mad Hatter. So he was an absolutely amazing character, and I really liked him. He and Jess were really great friends. All he wanted was for his friend to be happy, and we also got to experience his tea party, which was amazing. I had so much fun reading that scene, and it was just so awesome. Like, Hatter, he is so freaking amazing, and I felt like he was such an integral point to this plot. Like, this whole book just broke my heart for everyone. The only one I feel like got what he wanted was the king. The king reminds me of King Farquaad from Shrek, because he is described as someone who's very short. So here's Catherine, who's this beautiful, probably average height girl, and he's very short. But unlike Lord Farquaad, the king, he's very innocent, and all he wants is for everyone to be happy, to the point where he ignores the problem. He instead throws parties, he tells everyone it's okay. He's just a very innocent king. I feel like he's the only one who wasn't necessarily greatly affected by the events of this book, because ultimately in the end he did get what he wanted. So the ending of the story was just one that obviously you see coming, but you don't know what's gonna happen. But I really genuinely had tears falling from my eyes from this book, because it was just so sad, and I was expecting it, because who she became as a person at the end should be an indication for you guys to what kind of ending it's going to be. It is going to be a very sad ending. There is no happy ending for this book, guys. I'm sorry to tell you, but it is true. It's not a spoiler, because it is an origin story for Queen of Hearts. We know what's gonna happen. Overall, I loved this book. It was beautiful. I would highly recommend you guys read this book. I feel like this is such a great, genuine retelling for Alice in Wonderland, like an origin story for one of the characters of Alice in Wonderland. So as I said, I did rate this book a 4.5 stars out of 5. It was just absolutely gorgeously written, and I cannot wait to dive into the Lunar Chronicles, because I definitely need more Marissa Meyer in my life. Alright guys, so those are my thoughts and feelings on the Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I tried to be as spoiler free as I could, and I'm sorry that my thoughts were all over the place, so I hope you enjoyed anyways. Let me know down in the comments below if you read Heartless and what you guys thought of it, because it made its way into one of my favorite books of 2016. I'll leave that video link down below if you'd like to check that out. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed my all over the place review. Please give it a like if you did, and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. All of my social medias are linked down below, including Goodreads, Instagram, and Twitter if you'd like to follow me. I hope to see you guys on my next video. Have a good day guys, and keep reading. Bye!